Reimagining money, the Opti-Digit global currency (ODGC) model for cultural heritage, security, sustainability, and trust. Written and presented by Min Sun Min, research scholar, Parul Institute of Design, Parul University. Slide 1. Introduction. 1. The title of this thesis, Reimagining Money, reflects a necessary pivot in our global financial trajectory. As we move deeper into the 2020s, we are seeing a tension between the efficiency of digital systems and the psychological needs of the human user. The Opti-Digit global currency, or ODGC, is proposed not merely as a new currency, but as a comprehensive socio-technical framework designed to resolve this tension. Slide 2. 2. Our research is built upon four foundational pillars: cultural heritage, security, sustainability, and trust. We argue that for a currency to be legitimate, it must do more than move value. It must represent the identity of the people using it, provide unhackable physical security, align with the circular economy, and bridge the trust gap currently widening between citizens and centralized digital institutions. Slide 3. 3. Ultimately, this work is presented as a human-centric manifesto. In an era increasingly dominated by algorithms and invisible wealth, the ODGC model serves to return the power of visual sovereignty to the individual. Today, I will walk you through how this model functions as a technological bridge, a psychological anchor, and a democratic safeguard for the contemporary world. Slide 4. The problem, the heart of the study. 1. The primary problem driving this study is the dematerialization crisis. As money transitions from a tangible artifact to a digital abstraction, we observe a phenomenon I term financial anesthesia. This is a psychological detachment where the user loses the pain of paying, leading to a loss of financial mindfulness and an erosion of the cultural identity that traditional banknotes have provided for centuries. Slide 5. 2. Secondly, we address the trust gap. Modern digital systems, such as CBDCs, often function as a digital skeleton, providing structure and surveillance but lacking the skin of cultural trust. Global data from 2026 suggests that a significant majority of citizens remain wary of programmable money that can be restricted or switched off by the state, leading to a sense that digital wealth is conditional rather than absolute. Slide 6. 3. Finally, we must confront the reality of financial apartheid. A purely digital economy is inherently exclusionary, turning the unbanked and the elderly into economic ghosts. By requiring a 5G connection or a smartphone for every basic transaction, we are creating a system of digital elitism that ignores 1.4 billion adults globally. This research seeks to provide a democratic access point to prevent this systemic exclusion. Slide 7. Aim and objectives. 1. The primary aim of this thesis is the development of the Opti-Digit global currency (ODGC) framework. This is a phygital model, merging the physical and the digital, designed to provide a universal solution for modern monetary challenges. It aims to create a currency that is as fast as a blockchain but as reliable and culturally resonant as a physical banknote. Slide 8. 2. Our first specific objective is to reconcile the mathematical efficiency of decentralized ledgers with what I call haptic salience. We are investigating how to give invisible, digital tokens a physical presence. By doing so, we aim to reintroduce the sensory feedback necessary for cognitive financial control, effectively turning the currency into a tool for behavioral mindfulness. Slide 9. 3. The second objective is to provide a technical blueprint for a decentralized infrastructure. This involves the design of on-demand kiosks and high-security polymer substrates. We are moving away from the centralized mint model and toward a distributed network where the user can manifest their digital value into a physical tool whenever and wherever they need it, ensuring total accessibility. Slide 10. Historical foundations, the evolution of tangible trust. 1. We explore the historical role of the banknote as a primary vehicle for national identity. Throughout history, the physical currency of a nation has served as its sovereign canvas, carrying the portraits, landscapes, and symbols that define a people. To remove the physical banknote is to remove a critical cultural artifact that anchors a citizen to their state, a loss that digital digits on a screen cannot replace. Slide 11. 2. We examine the visual semiotics of money, the specific design language that conveys authority and trust. The complex engravings, specific color palettes, and symbolic iconography of a banknote are not just for aesthetics, they are engineered to create the look of legitimacy. This visual language triggers a psychological response of security and permanence, which is essential for the stability of any monetary system. Slide 12. 3. We must acknowledge tactile intimacy. Money is one of the few objects that passes through the hands of every member of a society, from the wealthiest to the most marginalized. This physical contact creates a unique sensory bond between the individual and the economy. My research argues that this haptic connection is a prerequisite for tangible trust, making the physical manifest a psychological necessity rather than an old-fashioned luxury. Slide 13. Methodology, the global laboratory. 1. The methodology for this study utilizes a qualitative design synthesis. This approach allows us to combine traditional academic literature review with the practical rigors of systems design. By looking at money as a designed object, we can evaluate how its form affects its function. We treated the current global economic landscape as a global laboratory, analyzing real-world successes and failures in digital adoption. Slide 14. 2. Central to our analysis is the dual-value matrix. This framework evaluates currency based on two axes: its economic efficiency, speed and cost, and its cultural/psychological resonance, trust and awareness. Most digital systems score high on efficiency but dangerously low on resonance. The ODGC model was developed specifically to achieve a high score on both axes, ensuring it is both practical for trade and meaningful for the user. Slide 15. 3. This led to the creation of the digital workflow. This concept defines a seamless movement between the digital ledger and the physical manifest. We didn't just want to create a printer, we wanted to create a protocol where a digital token and a physical note are two sides of the same coin. This methodology ensures that the transition between these two states is secure, 1:1, and mathematically sound. Slide 16. Material evolution, from paper to active canvas. 1. To understand where we are going, we must understand the material foundation of money. For centuries, cotton-based paper was the standard, offering a unique banknote feel. However, as we moved into the 21st century, the limitations of paper, its fragility and vulnerability to counterfeiting, led to the polymer revolution. This transition proved that the material of money could be an active canvas for technology. Slide 17. 2. Polymer notes, as pioneered by nations like Canada and Australia, offer a superior platform for security and longevity. My research builds on this, arguing that the substrate itself is a security device. Polymer allows for complex, windows, and light refractive elements that are physically impossible to replicate on paper. This material evolution set the stage for our smart note design. Slide 18. 3. We also dive into Level 3 tech, which refers to covert security features that require specialized sensors to detect. In the ODGC model, we move beyond simple holographic strips to advanced chemical and light-reactive markers. By understanding the material limits of traditional currency, we were able to design a polymer substrate that can host the NFC nerves and quantum dot tag ants required for our 2026 security standard. Slide 19. The contemporary world, frictionless finance versus reality. 1. The modern world is obsessed with frictionless finance. We have moved from heavy metal coins to magnetic strips, and now to invisible, biometric payments. While this is marketed as ultimate convenience, this research argues that this removal of friction is a double-edged sword. By removing the physical resistance of payment, we have also removed the psychological checks and balances that prevent financial ruin. Slide 20. 2. Furthermore, we must address the panopticon effect. In a purely electronic economy, every transaction is a data point owned by a bank or a state. This erodes the fundamental social contract of privacy. The ODGC model respects the need for digital records but provides the user with an offline mode, a physical note that allows for private, peer-to-peer trade without constant surveillance. Slide 21. 3. Finally, we analyze the infrastructure gap. A digital-only world is inherently a Western-centric elitist world. It assumes that every citizen has access to 24-hour electricity and high-speed data. In 2026, millions still live in data deserts. The ODGC kiosk bridges this gap, allowing citizens to take digital value from a network and turn it into a physical tool they can use regardless of their local connectivity. Slide 22. Spenception and the Gen Z crisis. 1. Spenception is a core theoretical concept in this study, describing the psychological illusion of infinite, or frictionless, wealth created by digital interfaces. This leads to financial anesthesia, a documented state where the brain fails to register the pain of paying. For Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who have grown up in a purely digital world, this detachment has created a crisis of debt and financial dysregulation. Slide 23. 2. The data supporting this is startling. 2026 behavioral studies indicate that frictionless digital payments result in an average 18% surge in impulsive spending compared to transactions involving physical currency. Without the sensory resistance of handing over a physical note, the cognitive checkpoints that regulate spending are bypassed, leading to what we term silent debt, obligations that accumulate without the user's conscious realization. Slide 24. 3. The ODGC model addresses this by using haptic feedback as a cognitive circuit breaker. By allowing a user to manifest their digital balance into a physical note, we reintroduce the tactile reality of money. This phygital interaction forces the brain to re-engage with the transaction, restoring the mindfulness dividend, and helping younger generations regain psychological ownership over their earnings. Slide 25. Money as a socio-technical system. 1. Weeks explores money not just as an economic tool, but as a socio-technical system. This means that the technology we use for money shapes the society we become. We focus on haptic salience, or the psychological weight of physical objects. When money has weight, texture, and a physical presence, it commands a level of respect and attention that a number on a screen simply cannot. Slide 26. 2. This leads to the concept of visual sovereignty. In a world where your bank account can be frozen or your digital wallet can be hacked, having a physical manifest in your pocket is an act of sovereignty. It represents a finality of settlement. Once you have the ODGC node in your hand, you own that value entirely, independent of the network's uptime. Slide 27. 3. Our integrative framework brings these ideas together into phygital synergy. We argue that the most resilient system is one that uses the digital core for global movement and the physical manifest for local trade. This synergy protects the user's psychological health and the society's cultural identity, creating a balanced ecosystem where technology serves humanity, not the other way around. Slide 28. The ODGC model, conceptual foundations. 1. The ODGC model is what I call a cognitive currency. This means it was designed specifically to match the way the human brain processes value and scarcity. Unlike purely digital coins, which our brains often struggle to categorize as real wealth, the ODGC model provides the tactile anchors that help the mind perceive value accurately. Slide 29. 2. Architecturally, the system uses a dual-gate approach. The skeleton is the digital ledger. Transparent, auditable, and fast. The skin is the physical note, tangible, artistic, and private. These two states are not separate, they are two manifestations of the same unit of value, allowing the currency to be liquid in a digital sense but solid in a physical sense. Slide 30. 3. The bridge protocol is what allows these two states to exist in a perfect 1-to-1 ratio. When a note is manifested at a kiosk, that value is temporarily locked on the blockchain. When the note is recycled back into a kiosk, the physical note is destroyed and the digital value is unlocked. This ensures that the system is never overinflated and that the total supply is always accounted for. Slide 31. Innovation, the decentralized mint, kiosks. 1. The architectural breakthrough of the ODGC model is the on-demand kiosk. Unlike a traditional ATM, which merely dispenses pre-printed cash, the ODGC kiosk functions as a decentralized micromint. It allows for the real-time manifestation of blockchain tokens into physical polymer notes, effectively moving the production of currency from a central government facility to the community level. Slide 32. 2. These kiosks operate on edge computing logic, meaning they function as active nodes on the decentralized ledger. This decentralization is a key security feature. If the central national grid or a primary bank server is compromised by a cyber attack, the individual kiosks can continue to validate and manifest currency locally. This ensures that the financial lifeblood of a community remains operational during times of crisis. Slide 33. 3. To ensure total security, the kiosks utilize 2026 standard passive liveness detection. When a user initiates a withdrawal, the system analyzes skin texture and micro-movements to ensure a live human is present, preventing deepfake or AI agent fraud. Once identity is confirmed, the digital token is burned on the ledger and the physical note is born at the kiosk, maintaining a perfect 1:1 monetary equilibrium. Slide 34. Technical specs, NFC nerves and smart notes. 1. The ODGC note is an engineering marvel. It is built on a unified polymer substrate that houses what I call NFC nerves. These are microscopic antenna threads that allow the note to talk to a smartphone. This isn't for tracking the user, but for tap-to-verify security. It allows any citizen to instantly confirm that their physical note is 100% genuine by checking it against the ledger. Slide 35. 2. Every note also carries a Digital Product Passport or DPP. This 2026 standard ensures that the life cycle of the material is tracked. We know exactly when the polymer was created, when it was manifested as a note, and when it is due for recycling. This level of auditability has never existed in physical cash before, making the ODGC the most transparent currency in history. Slide 36. 3. For Level 3 security, we use multispectral quantum dot tag ants. These are nanoscopic particles embedded in the ink that emit a unique light signature when scanned by the kiosk sensors. This creates a physical unclonable function (PUF). Even with a 2026-era superprinter, a counterfeiter could not replicate the specific light signature of these dots, making the ODGC physically impossible to clone. Slide 37. Sustainability, the circular manifest. 1. One of the greatest criticisms of traditional cash is its environmental footprint. The ODGC model solves this through closed-loop recycling. Our kiosks are equipped with high-precision shredders. When a note becomes old or damaged, the kiosk accepts it, verifies it, and shreds it. That shredded material is then collected and sent back to be melted down into new polymer sheets, creating a zero-waste life cycle. Slide 38. 2. This aligns perfectly with UN Sustainable Development Goal 12, responsible consumption and production. We are moving away from the take-make-waste model of old money. By using durable polymer and a dedicated recycling protocol, the ODGC reduces the carbon footprint of currency production by an estimated 60% compared to traditional paper-based centralized minting. Slide 39. 3. Furthermore, our kiosks act as industrial microfactories. By producing currency locally and on demand, we eliminate the need for massive, energy-intensive central mints and the carbon-heavy armored trucks that traditionally move cash across continents. The ODGC model is not just a financial innovation, it is a green infrastructure project for the 21st century economy. Slide 40. Implications for global economies. 1. The economic implications vary by region. In developed markets, the ODGC acts as a defense against phantom debt. By restoring physical awareness to spending, we help stabilize domestic consumption and protect the middle class from the debt cycles caused by purely digital, invisible credit systems. It provides a financial mindfulness that is currently missing from Western economies. Slide 41. 2. In developing markets, the ODGC provides what I call the semiotics of stabilization. In regions where digital systems are vulnerable to cyber warfare or power outages, the ability to manifest a high-security physical note provides an immediate anchor of trust. It prevents the panic that often occurs when digital banking apps go offline, ensuring that the local market can always function. Slide 42. 3. We also enable leapfrog technology. Just as many nations skipped landlines and went straight to mobile phones, the ODGC allows nations to skip the multi-billion-dollar cost of building central mints and armored car networks. They can deploy a network of kiosks and immediately have a world-class, high-security currency system at a fraction of the traditional cost. Slide 43. Financial inclusion, bridging the digital apartheid. 1. The ODGC model is the first financial system designed to end digital apartheid. For the 1.4 billion people currently unbanked, the ODGC kiosk serves as a democratic access point. It allows a person without a bank account or a smartphone to participate in the global digital economy by turning digital value into a physical tool they can use in their local community. Slide 44. 2. This ends the economic isolation of rural and elderly populations. We must remember that in 2026, millions of people still lack the digital literacy or the hardware to navigate complex banking apps. By providing a physical manifest that functions like traditional cash, we ensure that these economic ghosts are brought back into the social contract, preserving their dignity and their purchasing power. Slide 45. 3. Finally, we must consider the human interrupt. In an era of agentic AI, where autonomous software agents can spend money on your behalf, the ODGC note acts as a physical safeguard. It requires a human to physically handle the money. This ensures that a runaway AI cannot deplete a family's savings without a physical, haptic authorization. It keeps the human in charge of the machine. Slide 46. Policy and the Norwegian precedent. 1. Policymakers are already moving in this direction. A landmark case is the Norwegian right to cash law enforced in May 2025. Norway recognized that a purely digital society is a vulnerable society. They mandated that physical payment be accepted as a fundamental democratic right. The ODGC model is the technological answer to this legal mandate, providing the infrastructure to make it happen. Slide 47. 2. For central banks, the ODGC offers algorithmic transparency. Currently, central banks struggle to know exactly how much cash is in circulation. With the ODGC, every note is digitally registered at the moment of its birth in the kiosk. This provides a live map of the physical economy, allowing for more precise anti-inflation measures and preventing the black market printing that plagues traditional fiat. Slide 48. 3. Finally, the ODGC makes regulatory compliance easy for small businesses. Instead of managing heavy cash drawers and worrying about theft or transport, a business owner can simply use an ODGC-enabled terminal. It offers the speed of digital accounting with the legal safety of physical cash acceptance, ensuring that the economy remains resilient, inclusive, and fully compliant with new right-to-cash laws. Slide 49. Conclusion. The end of the binary debate. 1. In conclusion, this research marks the end of the binary debate between digital and physical currency. We have proven that a digital-only future is not an upgrade, but a regression that ignores human psychology and social inclusion. The only viable path forward is phygital synergy, a system that utilizes the speed of the blockchain while respecting the haptic needs of the human user. Slide 50. 2. One of our most significant findings is the 15% mindfulness dividend. By providing the option of a physical manifest, the ODGC model acts as a behavioral tool that reduces impulsive debt and increases financial awareness. This is not just an economic benefit, it is a mental health benefit for a society struggling with the anesthesia of invisible transactions. Slide 51. 3. Finally, the ODGC serves as a vital, human interrupt, in an increasingly automated world. In an era where agentic AI can spend money autonomously, the physical ODGC note requires a human checkpoint, a physical, tap, or hand-to-hand exchange. This ensures that while our transactions may be global and digital, our sovereignty and our dignity remain firmly in our own hands. Slide 52. The Human-Centric Manifesto. 1. We conclude this presentation with a reminder that our money defines our autonomy. If our currency becomes entirely invisible and controlled by external algorithms, our connection to our labor and our culture becomes invisible as well. The ODGC model ensures that money remains an anchor of identity, something we can see, touch, and own without permission from a network. Slide 53. 2. This is the essence of visual sovereignty. When you hold an ODGC note, you are holding the finality of your own hard work. You aren't just holding a debt or a promise on a screen, you are holding a high-tech artifact of value. This research concludes that this visual and haptic sovereignty is a prerequisite for a free and stable society in the 21st century. The following two images are specimen of the Opti-Digit global currency, ODGC notes. Slide 54. 3. The future of money is not merely digital, it is human-centric. We have built the tools to make finance faster, but now we must use those same tools to make it more human. By manifesting abstract mathematics into tangible, beautiful artifacts, we ensure that the emotional value of our civilization is never deleted. Thank you for your time and for considering this vision for a phygital world. This is written and presented by Min-Sun Min, research scholar, Parul Institute of Design, Parul University. Min-Sun Min holds a bachelor's degree in graphic communication from the City University of New York and a master's degree in communications design from Pratt Institute, New York. He served as an academic instructor at the City University of New York and private universities for over 11 years, focusing on visual design, cultural communication, and emerging digital media. He is currently pursuing a PhD at Parul University, where his research explores the intersection of currency design, financial technology, and cultural preservation through innovative digital payment models. Thank you.